Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Sorry to hear that. Look, obviously, health comes first, right? So if you need to take a break or pause, or you want us to stop, just let us know, and we support you. And I'm sorry to hear that, but you know, we'll go at whatever pace you're comfortable with for sure, and we all understand that. So please, I know it's hard, and don't feel self conscious at all. We support you 110%, and the only thing that we care about is that you're here talking with us today. That's all that matters.
Thank, thank you. So, Nacho, you are you're an avid gamer in titles such as DDO and Guild Wars 2. Uh, you stream weekday mornings on your personal Twitch. You're the host of DDO Cast, a bi-weekly podcast focusing on the players and streamers of Dungeons and Dragons Online. And you also stream on the official Twitch DDO stream every Saturday morning. Um, why don't you tell us and chat a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Nacho, and I have a video game addiction.
Welcome, Nacho.
I I will never earn my 30-day coin. Anyway, yeah, all that is so true. I started streaming back in December of 22, I think it was. Um, I I don't know. What do you want to know?
So you said 2022 you started streaming?
Yes,
Oh,
that's
okay.
when I started streaming.
So a couple things that I have for you is how long have you been playing video games? Like outside of streaming, just gaming in general. How long have you been playing?
Oh,
Welcome, Punk.
um, I really didn't get, like, we had a Nintendo when I was a kid and stuff like that, but we really didn't have video games when I was growing up. So
Hmm.
it wasn't until like 2007, no, 2006, I started playing Lineage 2 online. And then through that, I met somebody that was playing DDO, and I started playing DDO in October of '08. But back then, being a chick and streaming, or not streaming, but gaming was different than what it is now.
How?
Uh, I don't know. I guess because there's more women in it now. Back then, people were like, "Oh, a girl. We don't want to play with girls because all they want is for you to give them everything." And now I guess it's more widely accepted.
Hmm.
Um,
Hey,
from
let them in, cozy.
DDO, I also
Hey,
played.
Todd.
I tried playing WoW. That didn't work out too great. And then, of course, we went to. I don't remember exactly when we started playing Guild Wars 2. I do know the other day I got my 7-year birthday gift from the game. So, but I definitely have not been playing that long. That's just as long as my character's been up. So that's about the extent of my gaming life. It's not very
What game?
wide.
What game brings back the most memories for you?
Probably Dungeons and Dragons Online. Like I said, I started playing that in '08. Um, and then through a little incident, I was offered a world transfer after about a year of playing. Moved over to the Thelanis server on Dungeons and Dragons Online and met my husband, who thought I was a 12-year-old boy. didn't want me in his guild. And we've been married 12 years together, about almost 15 years, and have 2 kids.
So,
So
so you met your husband on DDO?
I did. I
That's
did.
awesome. That's awesome.
It was
Congratulations.
right after I swapped over to the Thelanis server, and I was playing a cleric, and I was a raid healer. And I was like, man, these people over here don't know what they're doing. And
Thelanis is
I
like
found
Virginia. It's for lovers.
right. And then I saw an LFM, and they were wanting a raid healer for TOD. And so I clicked to join it, and they're like, well, we don't know who you are. And Duck, my husband, actually left the raid, and they ended up not doing it because they were like, oh, we can't find a healer. And they tested me out. They're like, oh, let's go run a VOD and a hound and see if you can handle it. And yeah,
Nice. And the rest is history. That's
the
awesome.
rest is history. Yep.
You're the second person that. Oh, sorry, Saj. Go ahead.
Punk has stated it's a true gaming love story.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the second marriage from Thelenis that I know about. So when I first started playing in 2006, I knew this couple, and they actually had met on Dungeons and Dragons, and they got, obviously married, children. So, and it all happened on Thelenis. So you know what? Maybe I should start
I
hanging around the Wayward Lobster more often. I
I
could.
I just moved there.
Hey,
Yes, you just moved there.
I mean, if you're willing, if it works for Fred, maybe next week I could take you somewhere.
Hey,
Well,
Fred
I'm
is
I'm
my Pookie
at,
Bear.
after this weekend. I'm too ugly for Fred.
You never know, his tentacles, he could help your face out just a little bit.
Giggity.
So, is PC the only platform you play on? Do you play on like Xbox, PlayStation?
I don't. I mean, I've played an Xbox, but no, we're a PlayStation household. I have played PlayStation. My husband actually used to play professionally back in the early 2000s, like original Counter-Strike and stuff.
Okay.
So we're more of a PC gaming household. I do play Valhalla sometimes. I have like hundreds and hundreds of hours of playtime on that, but that's because I start playing it and then I fall asleep.
Gotcha.
So
I played Odyssey. I didn't really Valhalla. I don't know. I couldn't get into it for some reason.
yeah, it's definitely been a lot harder to game since we've had children. So my game time gets interrupted or stops abruptly, and so I'm not as avid as a gamer as I used to be.
It happens. Life has its cycles. So, how long have you been streaming? You said 2022 you started?
Yes, 2022. My second year is going to be this December. It's crazy.
Oh, well, happy anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
So, what content do you typically focus on when you stream?
DDO gameplay and gameplay with other people. It's only recently that it's been more solo play. But DDO is the game I've been playing the longest. It's the game I'm most comfortable with. And yeah.
What do you think is the state of gaming in 2024?
I think they should take mobile games and shove it back up where they came from, because I feel mobile games are kind of killing the regular game industry. Like,
Yeah, yeah. The developers and publishers are definitely seeing the dollars from mobile, and they think, oh, we
yeah,
need some of that, right? And they try to bleed it into their more traditional platforms. And I don't think the two merge well at all. I agree.
They don't. They don't. And I don't know.
So what do you think motivated you to start streaming?
Well, I was not streaming, but I was running with a guy. His name is Nodens. Him and his brother used to stream and do a DDO stream every day. And my brother actually was like, hey, look, there's this thing called Twitch, because I didn't know what Twitch was. I was like, when I say that when I had children, I was not gaming, like I was absolutely not gaming. I wasn't doing anything on the computer. I'm like a 80-year-old lady trying to learn all this stuff within the last 2 years. But anyway, he's like, hey, there's this thing called Twitch. You should see if anybody's streaming DDO gameplay. And that was back in 21. And I started watching them and I was like, oh, hey, I used to play this game and just recently got back into playing it. Let's see what's going on. And they were like, yeah, come play with us. So I was part of the static group on his stream for a while, and it just intrigued me. I saw how it reached out to players on multiple
Hey,
servers.
Mikey.
You weren't just limited to what you
I agree.
the people that were readily available to you. You had access to everyone who was watching Twitch, and I was like, the best part about DDO is playing DDO with friends, so let's try it. And it did.
Do you in streaming, do you feel you said ear- earlier that there is prejudice against women in gaming? Um, do you feel there is advantages or d disadvantages to women streaming?
Sorry, I was distracted by that really pretty thing that's behind War.
I try to crop him out, but he's a diva. He thinks he's the podcast.
This is their show.
Yeah, right. I should have a doggy cam. They're cute.
So back in the day, chicks were my character's name on DDO, the first one, was Not a Man. That was her name. All my names have been like some sort of pun or whatever. And I would always get, oh, are you really not a man? And DDO having in-game voice chat, I could key up and be like, really, I'm not a man. And yeah, there was a big difference. There was like a shift in, oh, it's okay that you messed up. Oh, this, whatever. And now, not so much. Streaming, I always get told it's easier to stream as a woman. Like anytime I am in a discussion with people about streaming, they're like, oh, it's so much easier because you're a woman and people want to see and hear women. They don't want to see and hear men. I myself don't see that. I just do what I do and people either come or they don't. But yeah. It's not like it was back in the day, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think we touched on that last podcast, Saj, where we talked about, where I said, just be organic, just be yourself, right? And people will either come or they won't. They'll either vibe with you or they won't. And I think that's the best approach. I think when you try to brute force it or you try to, put on this persona, I mean, that can work to a certain degree, but at the same time, I think people,
It's exhausting.
it is
It's
exhausting, right?
exhausting trying to do
Playing a
that.
character. So I think just the organic approach is kind of, because then like I met you in real life, right? You're the exact same person in real life as you are in your stream. Like it's one to one. It's literally one to one. The same energy,
She
the
did, Nacho.
same
She did, Punk.
the same personality, how nice you are, and how you come across. You're exactly that in real life, and that's a breath of fresh air. It's like some people you
Oh,
meet,
you know, because I met you back in
right?
March. I
Exactly.
was sitting here like, how does he
You're like,
know
how does
that?
he know, you
I
stalker
forgot.
weirdo? Yes, yes, I met you. See, that's how inconsequential I am. So she didn't even remember. It's all right.
That is not true
No,
whatsoever,
I'm
because I
going
was
away.
just talking about that.
Yeah,
But anyway, I agree.
Punk, Punk
I agree.
just brought up Punk just brought up that about your story, uh,
Oh,
ab-
yeah, yeah,
about the
my husband did think
12-year-old boy.
he thought I was a 12-year-old little boy just playing around on my daddy's computer or whatever. Didn't want me in the guild. Like the first time I got in voice chat, which we were using Ventrilo, he was like, no, no. Mm-mm. And then I remembered his birthday and it was all over with. Here we are today.
So what do
So
you think your biggest takeaway from streaming is? Like what does it give you yourself?
So I actually started streaming as a way when my son started pre-K. The bus picks him up from my house at 6:30 in the morning, and I still had a, a smaller child at home, and I found myself falling asleep and not, you know, waking up when he woke up. Uh, so really streaming started out as a way for me to stay awake so I would be awake when my baby woke up. And now I love streaming. It's the way I get uh my social fill. You know, I don't have to talk to people face to face and I get to do something I like, which is playing the game. I get to talk about it, joke about it, and people are choosing to be there, you know. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
it feels
absolutely.
that like when I had a really big uh debate when I first got my affiliate. I was like, I really um I don't know if I want to monetize my channel. Uh because I don't want people to have to feel like they have to pay to be there. I want to be open and welcoming and you know, we've reached a lot of people. I mean, there's people that just start playing the game and come in and they're like, you know, I want to ask questions, but I don't because I don't want to be ridiculed for being new or whatever. And I think we have created kind of that community where people come in and they can ask whatever they want. And
Yeah,
there's going to be a group of people there that can, if I don't know the answer, somebody else knows the answer.
yeah, exactly. I don't feel as though the DDO community gatekeeps at all. I recently just came back in February myself after 14 years away. So the game had changed tremendously. You know, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know all these new systems. And I would ask questions, either be it through my stream or through people I was grouping with. And everybody was super helpful and not lording information over me like in other games, like, oh, you don't know. Like I didn't get any of that sense of gatekeeping, or I don't want to say elitism, but you know, people
Yeah,
looking down upon your lack of knowledge. Everybody was welcoming. So that was a breath of fresh air. And that's the DDO that I remember even from 14 years ago. It was like that. So it
yeah.
was
I have,
it.
uh, I, 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 I agree. Has stated, uh, we, we, we get to learn things we haven't tried or didn't know, and Mikey Geek says the the DDO Twitch community is awesome, uh, about sharing and teaching, and Nacho is a big part of that.
Yeah, one thing that I do like to do, like my favorite thing to do during a stream is when I've come across a new streamer, and Sarge knows this firsthand, I will
Mm-hmm.
promote the ever loving shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, you guys need to go check these people out because I'm all about, I call it the DDO love. I think Punk calls it, calls my community the Nacho Nation, which is kind of cute. But, you know, I'm all about spreading the DDO love. And it really doesn't have to be DDO. That's just the game that I play the most. You know, it's really about everybody in the gaming community. I have recently branched out of DDO and started doing a little bit of Guild Wars streaming, but I feel so ridiculous when I do because I don't know
Boo.
what's going on.
Boo.
So that's a couple of this. So there's a couple things that I have ready to segue into, but I'd like to keep parsing through this conversation because I think it's a really good one. But I want to do like a compare and contrast with DDO and Guild Wars, both from a player perspective and a streamer perspective. But
Mm-hmm.
to circle back to what you said, you are definitely phenomenal with that. I know that when you see somebody who isn't a new streamer, you totally help them out. You make them feel welcome. I know you have with me, and I know you have with Sarge, and it's so refreshing because I think a lot of people, they look at other streamers as like almost like competitors, right? And it's that they are looking at it from a business aspect or a business side of, they think they're directly competing with you. But me, I see it as, hey, this is a community, right? Obviously that person on that screen is passionate about the same thing I am. They're not my competition. They're just somebody else who may be cool, and we can network together and, you know, talk about a subject matter that we're both passionate about. Maybe I can hook up and play with them. Like, that's the whole reason I started streaming DDO, is not to monetize or anything. It was literally to, okay, not that many people play this game anymore. I probably am not going to get in comms in the game and just start talking. Let me stream and see if I can network. And
Not
I've
to
met,
mention the in-game voice chat sex balls.
right. But I've met like so many people through streaming, and then also started grouping up with people totally from streaming. I've been afforded so many opportunities to meet amazing people like you and Sarge just through streaming, and from DDO too. So it's been an amazing experience. And I think if you
Yeah.
look at that, I don't want to say from an adversarial perspective, but if you look at it from, oh, Nachowench has more viewers or more subscribers than me, she's my competition. No, like, who cares about that? Anything, if somebody's going to gravitate towards another streamer, it's just because they vibe with that, with what that streamer's got going on, whether it's their gameplay is more engaging, whether they have a better on-screen presence. Just do you, right? And whatever happens passively, but don't lose out on the opportunity to meet amazing people, and don't be afraid to support other streamers,
Well,
right? At all.
well,
Yep,
you
I
know,
agree with that.
I've had the opportunity since started playing DDO. Started solo, just playing by myself, and occasionally my brother. And having now, through meeting Nacho and War, and meeting you guys and others, you know, this last week was the first time that I got to go through and raid. I'm experiencing things that I never thought I'd be able to do, and meeting other people, and finally having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, that's all, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, the availability to, like you said, raid, talk to people that you otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to. It's a phenomenal environment, and I really don't think that could be achieved without that streaming aspect too, right? Not, it definitely accelerates that process. I mean, through grouping with people, not a lot of people nowadays talk in DDO, at
Well,
least in the voice chat, they type.
mo
But I don't think
most
you get that. Go ahead,
yeah,
sorry.
most games that you'll go through and play, they're very toxic, whereas DDO is the exact opposite.
Yeah, I agree. That's been my
Well,
experience.
DDO does have its toxicity. I mean, every game is going to have those people. We all know who we're talking about. The one that, I'm better than you because you don't have the cure that I have. Which, are we staying on, like, is this DDO topic or can I bring in something else?
No, no, you can branch out into anything.
Okay, so like in Guild Wars, I've run across a lot of good people. Like I've been uh lurking on Guild Wars streams here lately, and they've all been super welcoming, but then in Guild Wars gameplay there's a big um yeah, the laid back atmosphere is nice. Uh
Hmm.
there's, it's like how DDO used to be. You had to have this X amount of awesomeness to be included in our awesomeness, but there's a lot of, the same, oh, hey, you're learning, let's teach you, just like DDO. Uh, yeah.
So with on that note, with the toxicity, what why is it that games like DDO seem to have gotten rid of that, where others it is more prevalent?
Because all them little kids aren't running to play DDO like they are other games. I
Mm,
really, I really feel like that a lot of the toxicity comes from, we were all that age. We all had that, oh, look, I'm super badass at this, so I'm going to be a jerk and be badass at the same time. We all go through that phase.
mm,
And I don't think DDO appeals to very many younger gamers, uh, which is
mm,
why it kind of lacks in that toxicity.
mm. Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the average median age of the DDO population is probably, you know, a little bit older
40.
than, yeah, a little bit older than, your World of Warcraft, your Final Fantasies, some of the other Elder Scrolls Online, some of the other games that are out there. I definitely think that there's a more mature
Yeah.
crowd,
Punk,
which
punk, punk. Sorry.
no,
Punk
no, you're fine,
says DDO is DDO is for the old fo fogiest, and that's why he likes it.
right? I would support that statement definitely.
Uh-uh.
I mean, it can be the great thing about it. It can be played slowly and it can be played very very fast. Right. It all depends on the individual.
Yep.
Other games aren't tolerant. I don't want to say tolerant like that, but they have a skill. They have a skill curve where, like, if you ever played Black Desert Online, there's so many actions per minute, and you need to have such amazing Twitch skills that that game just can't be played slowly. The tempo is just way too demanding for the average player. Even just the way your character interacts in the game world too. It's just a totally different vibe than what DDO provides. So I
Mm,
think that's gonna kind of certain crowd are gonna gravitate towards that title or move away from it, just dependent on the combat as well. And I think DDO offers it's kind of like a full spectrum game where it can offer both. You can play fast, you can play slow, and
right.
that's what I like about it too.
Well, Mikey Geek says that she's accusing us of maturity, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I'm not saying that you're mature, Mikey, at all. I mean, Ruffs is your kid. But, there's just that no bullshit. um, aura, I guess,
Mm,
around DDO. And then plus also the type of game. Like MMOs have it attracts a certain type of person.
mhm.
And if we were playing like Call of Duty or I don't know, Overwatch, I'm trying to think of other shoot 'em up games that Duck and the kids play. Yeah, flower sniffers unite. Um, there's just it attracts a different kind of person, and the
Well,
kind of people that MMOs attract, you know,
that
aren't.
that 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 kind of segues me into my big question, and that is, you know, since MMOs attract certain people, what is it on these games, legacy games like Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, Dungeons and Dragons Online, that is able to retain their audiences for a generation, where all of these new games with better graphics, different play styles are failing?
Well,
Time. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, War.
no, no, go ahead, Nacho.
Oh, I was just gonna say time. You know, we people don't like change by nature. Anything that changes, people are against. And
But on
I don't know.
the fact of change, okay, so bear with me, please. DDO has lasted 18 years. If DDO was to come out with a new game with new graphics, wouldn't that make another 18 years?
Uh, I would say not necessarily
Yeah,
at
I
all.
agree.
So,
If they
I,
came out,
go ahead, Nacho.
oh no, you go ahead. I
No,
took the
no, no.
last
After
one.
you. After you. Go ahead.
Oh no, age before beauty.
Ouch. Ouch. Mm,
Even though you look my age.
thanks, thanks. So I would say not really, Sarge. I think it. I don't want to say DDO captured lightning in a bottle, right? Because it's definitely not perfect. But I think for its time, its action combat was definitely a few steps ahead of its competition. Um, but I think it's a very niche title, right? I think just the complexity of character creation and having it um, solidified in the 3.5 rule set, that it's very, very different. It's very, very different than any other title that you're going to go out and play. World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, Guild Wars 2, they don't
Mhm.
have, the die 20 rule sets of the game. The whole infrastructure of the game is not built around that. So they're very different than DDO, but all those games are kind of very similar to each other too. But I also
Mhm.
think that DDO came out when the market wasn't really flooded. So I think it kind of enchanted people to its nicheness, if you will. And I think people have tried these other games, and they kind of know that it just doesn't feel the same. Even if other things can do some things better, I just think that it has that its own special secret sauce that keeps people playing that, because they know there's just not going to be another experience like that, and no other title is going to replicate that Dungeons and Dragons experience if that's what they're looking for. And I think a lot of people who play D&D are looking for that Dungeons and Dragons adjacent feel to that title.
I had something I was gonna say, but it went
Yeah,
right out the window. I completely forgot.
mm, but don't look 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 at look at the issues. A lot of these games, not just DDO. All right. Constant downtimes. All right. Constant in-game issues. Constant maintenance. Wouldn't it be advisable for a legacy game to want to go through and upgrade to keep it going?
I think a lot of it comes down to cost, right? How much is it going to cost us to upgrade? Give this title a new facelift. How much are we making, right? And how much do we have to pay our employees? It's a cost to benefit analysis, and I think if the cost to benefit
Mm.
just isn't there, and it's not advantageous for the company to take on that project, then they just won't. Um, if you look at like game companies like a Tencent, right, Chinese company, or even Standing Stone, they kind of buy games that are on waning, and then they just kind of put them in maintenance mode just to continue to get revenue out of them. I don't think Standing Stone Games has. I don't think they have their own intellectual property. Do they even have another game outside of Lotro or DDO? So I don't even think that's even in their wheelhouse for development, right? I don't think that they could. I don't think that's the game company to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to make DDO too.
What do you think, Nacho?
Um, I don't know because I try to stay out of the politics of DDO. I
Okay.
sort of accept it as it is and work around the issues. Um, but I agree. I don't think that we're going to see a DDO2 or, any revamping of older graphics because of whatever reason. I just don't think it's within their budget or capabilities to do that. I don't know. Maybe Daybreak will feel some pity for us. I guess I don't want to say that. Oh, that's a horrible thing to say. But yeah, I agree. I don't see it re-releasing with brand new graphics, brand new updated graphics.
Oh, Mackie says you also have to remember that Standing Stone refused to sell to, to, to Amazon, so Amazon could have the Lotro or Wizards IP for their own MMO.
Yeah, exactly. Amazon's got a Lord of the Rings MMO in development right now, so they probably wanted to absorb it and basically, remove take their own competition off the board, right? Um, so, and I think that's also. Let's put it this way: if DDO was any other title, it would have already been shut down, right? I think
Right.
the game's special, unique, niche market is what makes it unique. And I'm actually impressed with the fact that they are still putting out expansions, the fact that they are still doing, new characters or new classes, and that they look like they've been modernized, but they also blend very, very well back
Mm-hmm.
into the base game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think with DDO, it's been around 18 years. It's been 18 years of memory, and I think a lot of us are just happy that it's still here and still able to play it versus having it shut down and go over to another title. Um, and that's what's great about it. I mean,
Possible zero.
every,
But that's possible zero.
yeah, right. I mean, the lag is a huge thing, right? So to me, the lag is almost like, if again, same thing. If this was any other title, paying $15 a month and dealing with that lag, people would be screaming, right? Can you imagine if World of Warcraft lagged like that? There would be mass subscription cancels. But I think the players of DDO, they just kind of deal because they know, like, hey, look, the game's old, the engine's definitely dated, their hardware is definitely dated, but we're not going to get this anywhere else. So let's enjoy it while we're here, type of deal. And that's okay too.
Exactly.
Thank you, Punk.
Not everything needs to be, not everything needs to be on par with the big dogs, right? And I'd actually like to segue into this next bit, if I can bring up some visual
Mm-hmm.
aids on my stream real quick, because I think it backs up what we're saying here. I'm gonna pull that up right now.
Yeah, I won't be able to look because every time I click on something, I get performance issues.
Hmm.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Most of us that started playing DDO, we started playing DDO on dial-up, you
Right.
know?
So
So now people have faster internet connections and they're like, "Why am I still lagging?"
right,
And then
exactly.
DDO saying, "Oh no, it's not us, it's you."
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
well,
right. It's
s-
like
so
my phone could run this game. What are you talking about?
well
Right?
soon it's going to be Metamucil wench.
Get her side. She called me old earlier. I didn't forget that, Nacho. You're in big trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about. I
You're
don't
in
know what
big
you're
trouble.
talking about.
All right, so I pulled up on my stream, like we're talking about MMO numbers. So right now, top MMOs, MMOpopulation.com shows World of Warcraft as the top dog at
Of course.
144.79 million total players. So World of Warcraft's actually been around since 2004, longer than DDO. But if you're not familiar with World of Warcraft, their combat system is a lot like Lotro. It's tab target. Now, Lotro has gone ahead. I mean, correction, sorry. World of Warcraft has gone ahead and given their game a updated facelift, but also their
Right,
numbers
Mikey?
support that, right? For them, it's cost effective to kind of bring it into the 2020 because they have that 144.79 million players. They have that revenue, but they're showing here number two is Baldur's Gate 3, which I wouldn't call Baldur's Gate 3 an MMO, but that's coming in at 117.2 million players. So that tells me one thing. People love the die 20 system because Baldur's Gate 3 runs off of the die 20 system. I believe they're the 5th edition rule set, right? But the desire for Dungeons and Dragons is there. It's just a matter of who can deliver. And I think to back up what one of your viewers said, Sarge, to back up with why that would incentivize Amazon to purchase and just take Standing Stone off the board is to funnel the DDO players back over to their title as well and just absorb everybody, kind of like what Amazon does with everything, right?
Hmm.
Books,
Yep.
everything, right? That's just that's their MO, hostile takeovers. I'm curious. I don't even see like World of Warcraft Classic is 32.64 million players. Elder Scrolls Online 24 million players. These are pretty big numbers. I don't even
I
know where
played ESO a little bit. I think isn't that on PlayStation?
it's on all platforms. Yeah, so I
I
actually
think
play.
we played that a little bit on PlayStation and I just couldn't get into it. My biggest thing is in DDO, I have complete control over my character. I can
Mikey.
make my character however I want to, multi-class up to 3 different classes into one character. And I run into that playing Guild Wars because I'm like, I really don't like this skill. I wish I could mix and match my skills, but you can't.
All
Mike,
right.
Mikey Geek says DDO has 37.5 players.
I have the numbers here in a minute, and I'll definitely get into that. I don't think he's too far off. No. um, so yeah, I play Elder Scrolls Online, Nacho, on actually Xbox, and I think Elder Scrolls Online it's kind of built for a large consumer, right? It definitely does not have that individual feel. Your character is kind of cookie cutter. My whatever sorcerer,
Right, Punk?
Templar, Dragon Knight is going to feel like yours, other than outside of gear. And I think DDO is very, very unique because I might build a character that's completely different than Sarge's, that's completely different than yours, and we're all playing the same class. I think that's why people totally love DDO because it gives them it gives them it gives them control over not only designing, but it gives them equity into their character. Like, hey, I built this, right? This is like my design, or this is my creation. Where other games,
Right? And I also think that that's one thing that kind of hurts DDO at the same time, especially with new players coming in, because there is a huge learning curve. I mean, yeah, they have the pre-built templates that you can use, but they're not any good.
Right.
Like if you were to build a template, I mean, one template that I do use, like when I go to other servers and I have to roll a new tune to play with somebody, roll an iconic. The iconic templates are okay, better than nothing. But if you were to go in and hit build my character for me on a cleric, you're not gonna do anything. Like you're not gonna be able to do anything at all. It's
Mhm.
just trash.
Yeah.
That
And
also.
not having that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, not having that readily available. I feel kind of, I don't know, deters newer people coming in because they get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest thing that I've run into with newer
Mhm.
players is they get
Mm-hmm.
frustrated because they don't know what they're doing.
Well,
They
Yeah.
don't know. They either want to build it as a D&D pen and paper player,
mm-hmm.
or they're coming in from playing World of Warcraft or Guild Wars or whatever,
Well,
where, oh, hey, you have a skill tree that you can, that you have to fill up, but it's the same across the board. It's not.
right. Well, a lot as a new DDO player, one of the biggest things that I have found was that a lot of the templates are geared and des designed for multiple life tunes. So there was not a lot out there for somebody that is brand new, which is why I started creating videos for people that are brand new. But DDO does does have a steep learning curve. No, you agree? Hello?
Yes. Yes, I absolutely agree.
Me too. Sorry,
I
I
was
had muted
I was I
myself
was
because I
acquiescing
have
for Nacho to
company.
answer first.
Oh, hey, do y'all like my background picture?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's Jekyll Island, Georgia. It's nice.
Punk said I stunned you guys.
We're like, huh?
and
What?
and hey, I thought I was slow.
I have children that have eaten my brain. I mean, I've had the little parasite bodies in me, and I really think they had like the straw that went to my brain, and you
So
know.
here's some more numbers that may shock you guys, and I didn't even know this until looking up these right now. Lord of the Rings Online has 3.44 million players. That's wild to me.
What?
I don't
Yeah.
know if I don't know if
It
I
is
believe that
wild.
number. I don't know if I believe it.
That's probably accounts or something. Like
Uh,
that's got to be
there's no
accounts, not
way
active
there's
players.
no way 3 million people are playing that game. No way. No way.
Well, I mean, us DDO players, even at PAX, we sort of there was a joke that, we were the redheaded stepchildren of SSG.
Right? Because I mean, there's no way because if you look at PAX, you look at the meetup numbers, right? Let's segue back to PAX.
Well,
The meetup numbers for
PAX,
PAX was pretty accurate, I think, representatively with the player population. Like DDO, it wasn't crazy, but there was a good amount of people at the PAX event.
oh,
And same thing with like Lotro. It didn't look like 3 million people were playing Lotro at the PAX meetup. No way.
right. Well, I had all the DDO players. So I won this book at PAX,
Oh, I want a
right?
book too.
And I had all the DDO players there sign my book. Like I would go up to people and, hey, is your wristband the same color? Sign my book. And so it was a surprising number. There's like 40 something signatures on here on that. Oh, I was holding it down. So I mean, compared to, because that was a daybreak meetup, not just DDO. You know, we had DDO and Lotro and what was that? EverQuest. That was that other game.
Oh, I'm gonna go. I want to go get my
EverQuest
book
and
now.
EverQuest 2.
My
And there
my
seemed to be a little bit more EverQuest people there than DDO, but
Mikey Geek says Lotro has at least a as fierce a player base as SSO, and it's much story based game around a well loved property. And War, your camera went down. Wonder if he knew that his. There he goes. You're back.
Yeah, no, I knew because I'm not. I refuse to be shown up by Nachowench. I won the raffle too, Nacho.
nice. You got Dragonlance. Mine was
I did. But hold on, Nacho. And I know you don't remember.
Look,
no,
mine
no.
has Fred.
Hold on. I know you don't remember meeting me, Nacho, which that really hurts my feelings. No,
I do remember meeting you.
I want to show you this proof. Wait. Oh, look at that. Signed.
Okay.
I have a book signed by Nacho
Let me
Wench.
see.
And,
Let me see. Where is
and
your signature at?
And I don't have nothing.
Right?
Well, that's
got a
because
poster.
you're going to oh wow,
Right?
where is your signature? I don't
Yeah,
even know
see,
where
you didn't meet me.
Oh, there it is. It's right here. Oh,
Fake
camera, quit being weird.
Fake news. Fake news.
It's not fake news.
Fake news.
There you go.
Cozy refused to sign my book. I asked her, and she was like, "Please, I'm not signing your book."
There. Okay. I had to get my other picture back up. You guys, I don't want to show. Well, I don't care. We're in my pantry. That's my mom friend. Say hi, mom friend.
Hi, mom friend.
So that's not what I wanted. Yeah, and we have kids running in and out too.
So your other game, Nacho, 2.12 million players. Guild Wars 2, 2.1.
It seems like there's a lot more people though.
There's no way that Lord of the Rings Online has more players than Guild Wars 2. There's no way. But coming in at 69, number 69, which is, okay, we'll just segue into the number. 594,000 people playing, which I would have never believed that. And I'll back that up with a few other stats. That number is shocking to me, that there's 500,000 people playing that game. I don't know if I buy this. DDO. According to this website, mmopopulation.com, 594 million people, 594,000 people playing DDO. I don't know if I believe
where are they at?
I know, that's what I'm saying. So Steam charts. Now granted,
Steam,
I just pulled it up. I pulled it up on my website here, but Steam charts is showing. Let me refresh this. Current players at 30. 30-day average 223. That's on Steam. So it's 222 because I'm actually a Steam DDO player. That's from Steam though. So I know most people aren't playing DDO through the Steam client. So that's not accurate, but I'm going to use other information to kind of we'll back this up. Now Guild Wars 2 Steam is current players 3,874, average player 3,289 players. That's a pretty
with all of those numbers. These smaller games, what could they do to attract more people?
Me personally, what I think they can do is advertise, right? They need to be pushing advertisement. So whatever money whatever budget they do have, they need to advertise, but more than advertisement, because that's only going to reach so many people. They need to lean into Twitch. Twitch is your advertiser these days, and it's all passive, right? So I'm pulling up the Twitch numbers. So right now, live viewers on DDO. Let me refresh this. Make sure this is accurate.
Well,
Right now, there's ten.
servers are in maintenance.
Yeah. So I can pull it up by month. Let's say, right. So the month of June, we'll just pull that up. The average viewers is 56 people viewing DDO. Peak viewers 300. The average streams of DDO is 6. Peak streams 22. So average hours watched 21,000.8. So almost 22,000 hours watched. I know myself from looking at Twitch, if it ever breaks 100, it doesn't ever really break 100. It's right at sub 100 consistently all the time. That's kind of indicative of interest in Dungeons and Dragons Online, especially when you compare it to these other games like World of Warcraft. The average viewers are like 14,000. Guild Wars, it's sub 1,000. Guild Wars is hovers right around 800 viewers. So I'm going to pull Guild Wars up just to back my stats up.
To just make a comment on the Twitch numbers for DDO, we have a unique situation when it comes to Twitch. Because we have our own, hey, I'm streaming DDO, but in the DDO category, we also get people that are running pen and paper games.
Yeah,
I don't know how often you guys see that, but there's a lot of people that mistakenly stream in the DDO category for the video game rather than in the tabletop online channel. So
I see it all the time.
How much of those numbers are actually influencing our numbers? And then when you look at other games like WoW and Guild Wars, what brings people to Twitch are those in-game drops. Hey, just for watching this streamer, as long as all your accounts are connected, you get stuff for watching that streamer. So I think also, because I know when I do a stream and I say, hey, I'm giving stuff away, I have way more people I don't even know, people I haven't even seen in other channels that are coming because, hey, I'm giving stuff away. People want free stuff.
Going back to the advertising, do you think it is advisable for DDO and the smaller games to do like Twitch drops?
Huge.
I think it would bring in a lot more people to Twitch, which would bring in more people to the game. I mean, if you look at the boost in players that we get when they offer the game code to get all the pre-Underdark stuff for free, there was a huge influx. Now, whether they stayed or not is a different story, but we're a free game, but the base game is not free. So if you were to start DDO today, you would have to go and buy the Meridia pack. Is Meridia run very often? Not really. I mean, there's other things at that level that people are running that are newer content. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to back up what Nacho's saying too, right? It's a huge missed opportunity on their part, right? I mean, peel some stuff. You have plenty of stuff in that store, right? Plenty. My biggest thing, XP pots, right? Help people. You want buy-in, you want adoption to your game. Help people lessen that grind a little bit. Give XP pots and Twitch drops, right? So you're getting more eyes on your title. You're getting more eyes on your title. You're helping the players out by, hey, you want to, you want people playing the game, right? It doesn't matter how they play the game, but you want them in your game worlds, populating your game worlds, playing your game. People, you see it all the time on YouTube. I see feeds. Oh, this is a dead game. This is a dead game. And if enough of that negativity goes around, people won't even play it because they think it's a dead game. You want people populating your game worlds. And what's the best way to do it? Like Nacho just said, like Twitch drops. Oh, a lot of people who watch Twitch, they see drops. They move over to titles that they don't even typically play, or they may be thinking about checking out. And now that incentivizes them to go check it out because there's a Twitch drop. People love, look, I'll talk plain talk. People love free shit, right? So
Yeah.
if you give them that, and that's
You like
bringing
free
them
shit,
into your
right? I like free shit.
that's bringing them into your game world, then that's just a win. And what did it really cost you? It really cost you nothing. It costs you a Twitch drop of what, an XP pot that you already have in your store. That's just a W all around, and it can be fairly easy done. I mean, they have codes. That's what they need to be leaning. You talk about advertisement and stuff, but that's what they really need to be leaning into, is if they want to modernize and get more eyes on and get more traffic around their title, they need to embrace Twitch, right? And I'm not saying that because I
Well,
stream. I'm saying that because
Daybreak
that's the future.
Daybreak has started a creator program or whatever, but DDO is not really included in that right off the bat. I think the last thing I heard was that we will get there eventually. Because I know that was one thing that I asked Cordo, one of the first questions I asked Cordo when we went to,
Sorry.
when we were at PAX.
I'm sorry. Punk said he was in the septic business for 11 years. He's had enough free shit.
That's a good one. That's a
Sorry,
good
Yeah,
one.
Nacho.
well, free stuff from the game, things that they are using to incentivize players to, because if we had everybody that played DDO come back to the game, we would be full all the time.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
the time.
look at the COVID numbers, right? I think that was right before you streamed, Nacho. You said the COVID numbers, they had
Yeah,
like
I didn't come back to
5,000
the
people.
game. I did not come back to the game till August of 21, August, September of 21. Because I mean, I was working at a hospital, I was an EMT, I was busy, 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 busy.
Yeah.
And
So
so,
I
yeah.
think I think that's what they really need to be leaning into and try to figure it out. I looked at your channel here, Saj, and I believe Omaki, massively missed opportunities, payout critical to roll. One of the big Twitchy YouTube and D&D groups have their own expansion in DDO. Exactly, right? Exactly. Huge missed opportunity. It's missed on so many fronts. It's missed. So again, it's like your local crack dealer, right? I get you addicted to your to your XP pot. You're going to come back and buy from me again, right? So hey, I got this XP pot free in a Twitch drop while playing the game. I kind of got used to that 50%.
Well, I
I got
think there's a lot of things, because I know it was told to us that there is a certain reason why they can't give away free stuff. Because I know there's just so many hands in that pot, and I can imagine just how hard it would be to navigate through that. But hopefully that does not stop them from DDO participating in the Daybreak Creator Program and providing drops for us.
right. Exactly. I think they need to, if they're going to keep the game going, right? They need to lean into that and
But
pour money into those resources.
Well, even
but
if they made it where,
even if they went through and they all they offered codes to redeem in game, that's to the streamers. Use this code to get a free XP pot. That's something. They can
Guild
do.
pots,
They
anything, right? You
Yeah.
Well,
again, you
see,
want to get people invested in your game. Like I know a lot of people talk about even now, which is crazy. People are making new guilds, right? Even now, but it's like I look at it like this: I would never create a guild right now because there's not enough population to really get that guild level in an expeditious fashion. But they could give you more guild pots, right? Like help people boost, like get again more agency in the game, more agency in their guilds, more agency in the title, server merger, right? Like I know people say, well, they don't know how to transfer guilds over. I look at it like this: do you really care? If I have a Acme guild, right, and I've had it for 18 years, but I have 3 people in my guild. If there was a server merger, if I could get 40 people in my guild, right? What's more important to me? That it's called Acme Dash One on a new server that's been merged, and now I have 40 people versus I'm holding on to my guild with 3. Makes no sense, right?
right. Well, I mean, there is way back in the day, it was a lot harder, when guild ships first came out and stuff, and people started dumping a whole bunch of real money into the game. And yeah, I could see why they wouldn't want to lose those
Well, I'm
because
not.
they paid actual money for it. But still,
They
you're
wouldn't.
right.
They wouldn't lose them though. They're in the database. It's just moving data over, right? So,
Yeah.
but I get it, right? But I wouldn't care if I was Acme Guild and Acme One Guild was over there. Would I really care if the whole game was flourishing and everybody was able to like play together? To me, that would be the benefit. And I know
It
that
would.
I'm going off on my
It
own.
would.
That's my personal crusade. That's my personal
Yeah,
crusade
I
with the
am
game.
I am 100% for, I mean, even if they don't want to merge all the servers together, make like a common raid server. Like,
Yes,
oh, hey, you're in the game, you can queue for this raid server, and you can pull people for raids off of all servers. I mean, the raid itself is an instance anyway. So why can't that instance be across all servers?
correct me if I'm wrong, but you can anybody from any server can copy their character data onto Lamania, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
And everything gets copied, even your TR cache. Your TR
Okay.
cache, the only thing that doesn't go is your astral shards, I think, or your astral shards might even go.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Okay. So here's my
but
point.
like everything goes.
Let the global community, instead of Lamania, let's put a live server up, right? We'll call it War Realm. No, let's put a live server up where people can copy their characters over, and we can all play together, right? Because through the years and through streaming, we've met each other. Like I'm hesitant on. I don't want to create a new character because I'm already playing catch up with the TR game, right? And I don't want to like spread my time across multiple servers just so I can play with people. I
That's
want,
me.
yeah, I want to keep growing my account, my character, and I would
Yeah.
love to be able to play with more people,
But
but we just can't.
but
But if we go
uh,
ahead. Sorry, Seth.
no, I'm sorry. Uh, I'm sorry. Punk brought up a good point though. Going back to the issues, okay? You're talking about one server, but the the server performance right now, there's no way. There's no way the servers would be able to handle a single server because
Well,
look at the maintenance they 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 have now.
that's a hardware issue on their end. You can't tell me that they're not running these 25, 30-year-old servers, right? Elder Scrolls Online had the same exact problem with lag. They had the exact same problem in Cyrodiil with lag, and they said, "Oh, it was the gear, it was the computations because of the gear. We've added in all these different gear sets, and now the game just can't keep up." Yeah, that was bullshit. They replaced their hardware, and now the lag has been drastically reduced because they upgraded their actual hardware. Um, and again, too, what drop these servers with 400 people on them. right? Like get rid of them, absorb them into buy one server, push all your money into one server that has the headroom to process the influx of players. It can be easily done. You're talking about, again, if World of Warcraft can have a server up and they have let me go back to it, right, 144 million players, and you go on to World of Warcraft right now, there's no lag issue, none, period. So like a
But World,
Lamania server,
but World of Warcraft also has like 70 servers.
that's fine. And in DDO, right, you're talking about, I mean, let's be real, how many active players do they really have? 3, maybe 5,000 max.
37.5.
Yeah. So 4K, less than 4K people, right? And not all 4K are on the server at one time. But again, same thing. It's got to do with their technology. All their stuff is instance as well. You're just pushing sub instances. I remember back in the day, right, in the early 2000s, 2006, 2007, you'd get like Harbor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get multiple instances of the harbor. So the infrastructure is there. You ever see a Harbor 1 or 2 now? No, it's because there's no population for it, right? Just have a Lamania, but actually a live server where people can transfer their characters and play together. That's all I would like. That's all I would want. Just copy my data over. Let me play with Saj. Let me play with Nacho. Let me play with Radar. Let me play with Cozy. Let me play with anybody on any server that I have met. I think it would be amazing. And the lag, I'm not a coder. I don't claim to be, but I'd rather deal with the lag on a server that I can play with people that I've met than dealing with the lag on the server that I'm on anyway, right? I mean, I don't think the lag's going anywhere. But we could go into this all day, but I want to ask you guys a couple things personally, as streamers. So given these numbers, right? What do they mean to you as a player, and what do they mean to you as a streamer of those titles? So I'm going to ask Sarge first. Sarge, DDO population, what does it mean to you as a player?
Less people to be able to play with and to have fun with and to meet.
Nacho, same question.
Well, when I think about the numbers in DDO, I want people to play the game with. I very much use DDO as my social outlet. I mean, I live in a very rural area. I have one friend. She's right there. You just can't see her right now.
Hi, friend.
They said hi, friend. Oh. But it's really hard for us to get out and socialize. I mean, we have to drive 30 minutes to go to a park that, has a bathroom there at the park. So I use it. Safe equipment. Yeah, safe equipment for the kids to play on. But so it's my social outlet. That's what it is. I want more people to play with.
What do you think? Because you guys both play Guild Wars as well. The compare and contrast between DDO, let's say, and Guild Wars? Do you see any tangible difference for you as an end game user or a player?
That's really hard to compare because the openness of Guild Wars makes it a lot easier to interact with other players. Like if I'm sitting there and I'm beating down a boss and I'm having problems, somebody can just swoop in and help me and then go on their merry way. There's no, organizing a party, you know, yeah, people can come into dungeons within certain parameters and help and whatnot, but then they're in that dungeon. So, meh,
That's fair.
it's not really comparable.
Oh, punk Punk says you all have a bunch of friends. They're called subscribers.
No, because there's some people that aren't subscribers that are still my friends, and subscribing is nice. I mean, as a streamer, of course I want subs, and of course I want follows and stuff, but you don't have to.
Hmm. War. An- answer your own question.
Yeah.
Yeah, answer your own.
Yes. So so for me,
Easier than than me trying to say it again.
so for me it's the same as you guys, right? I think more players, right? More LFMs up allows me to navigate through the game faster, right? I can get more XP per hour if there are more quests up with people in my level range. Same thing too, networking. If there are more people playing the game, there's more people that I can make connections with, there's more people that I can group with. It affords me the opportunity, and I'm not looking at it totally from a selfish perspective. I'm looking at it from like a symbiotic relationship. Like, hey, I'm grouping with you, you're grouping with me. Let's build our characters together. Let's move through this content together, and let's have a good time. And kind of build community together. And I think I'm not a soloer. Like I used to be way back in the day in the early 2000s, but I don't like to do it anymore. When I'm on DDO, I want to play with people. I like laughing. I like having a good time. I like the back and forth. Um, and enjoying people. If I want to play let's face it, there's better games to play if you want the solo player experience, right? Um, I,
Most definitely.
yeah,
Mm.
and for me, it's about that community. It's you know, meeting Nachowench, it's meeting Sarge, being able to. I've played
Mhm.
DDO with you guys, and I've had a blast. That's how I want to play that type of game. I don't play an MMO for the solo aspect, and I'm not knocking anybody who does. I understand people want to challenge themselves or they like going through the dungeons at their own pace, and that's great too. But that's what's amazing about an MMO is it affords players of a full spectrum experience, right? And I think global health of the game and players is just nothing but positives. And that to me too, same thing. Streaming, eyes on just gets more people interested in your title. It affords you, the ability to meet people that you typically wouldn't. Like you say, you live 30 minutes from an activity event. A lot of us we spend a good amount, like probably don't want to admit it, but a good amount of time in these games, and meeting people is part of that experience. And the more people, the more contacts, the more fun.
Mm.
Yep.
I mean, if anybody watches my stream, typically I'm always laughing, right? And it's through people I'm playing with, or it's the engagement I'm getting in chat, and that's what I'm there for.
I, I'm I
Not
I'm
right
there
now,
to
baby.
I'm
We
there to
can.
watch you die more.
Yeah, right. That too.
Oh.
So now to piggyback those questions, what do the numbers mean for you? So like, let's say, DDO with its limited viewership, right? Less than 100 people on average. What does that mean to you, Sarge, as a streamer? If you're trying to grow your platform and you know that, hey, there's only 100 people watching DDO.
That that's kind of a catch 22. Um, I I I I want to grow the community with DDO being so small, it's hard, but I I would much prefer quality over quantity.
I agree. I agree. Quality over quantity. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I think that's there with DDO, right? So since coming back to the game, what I've noticed is there may be less than 100 viewers, but that viewership is fiercely loyal,
Mhm.
fiercely loyal. Like you get a lot of people coming to the DDO streams and they're fiercely loyal. They really are very passionate about that title, and they share those passions
I agree,
with the
Mikey.
people that are streaming it. And there's a lot of really good streamers, some people that have been playing a long time, and they're very knowledgeable about the game. And I think what's great about that too is you can learn, bits of information and tidbits from watching, like Nacho stream. I think last time we even played together, Nacho, you're like, hey, do this. And it was like something I'd never even thought of. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to put that in my toolbox now. Now I know, do that in that dungeon. And I think that's what's great about that engagement too, is I watch people's streams and I learn stuff.
Well,
Um,
all I get to do when I when I play with Nacho is be her shark daddy.
as you should, Zaddy, as you should.
Yeah.
You can put me in your backpack anytime. You can skip that.
Yep.
What is that? Shornholm or whatever it's called. You can keep that.
Stormhorns.
Yeah, there you go.
Stormhorns.
Put me in your backpack, Zaddy, and Astro shot me around. I'll rub your feet. So, Nacho,
So,
same question. What do those numbers mean for both? You said you started streaming Guild Wars 2. So, what do
Well,
the numbers mean for DDO, and what do the
oh
numbers for Guild
no,
Wars
no,
mean?
no, no. I have not openly streamed Guild Wars 2.
Oh,
Like twice
oh
I have
wait,
streamed
you're a
Guild
closet Guild
Wars
Wars
2.
2 streamer.
I am.
You
I'm a
closeted?
closet Guild
Okay.
Wars 2 streamer
Okay.
because all of those people have their shit together and it's intimidating.
Well,
But for DDO, I mean, like this morning, DDO went down and I went to Guild Wars. And there was a lot of people that left, but there was a good amount of people that stayed too. And even though I wasn't streaming DDO, they stayed to hang out and chat.
hmm hmm
yeah.
So,
So that's another thing that I've noticed too is it's hard to branch off. Like the viewers that I have gotten when I play other titles, not a lot of them show up for the other titles. They're there specifically for the DDO,
hmm
which,
right.
like I said, goes back to, even if it's a small viewership, it's still they're fiercely loyal. They really love
Yep.
that
And
game.
it's hard to break into those bigger titles as a streamer. It really
hmm
is because,
hmm
you know, like Guild Wars, they have a partnership program or um, a content creator program. And so you get the in-game drops and things like that.
Yeah,
Oh no.
absolutely. So
Well, one thing I have noticed to your point, War, is there even in with DDO there is still the people that will, regardless of what you're streaming, still come by and talk.
Yep.
there definitely are. I have that happen with myself too. And again, I think it goes back for, like, not what Nacho was saying, that you can tell that those people are there for you, right? They're not there for just DDO. Now they've they've gravitated towards you as the individual streamer, so they kind of come by and say hi. And again, you're making connections. It doesn't matter what you're playing, and to me, that's what it's all about. And to me,
hmm
that's what streaming is all about, is just making those connections. It doesn't matter what I'm playing. You may be interested, you might not be.
hmm
But I would like to kind of wind this down. If there's anything that we missed from the audience, if they would like to have us clarify or engage with, maybe they have something they want to add to the discussion. I really want to reiterate that, to anybody watching, we want this to kind of be like a tavern atmosphere, that the viewers are also part of the dynamic discussions. Everyone watching is encouraged to chat and be directly involved in the conversation, and also help drive the conversation as well. We kind of don't want to talk at people. We want everybody to kind of talk together as if we were in that tavern sharing a beer together. So if there's anything on your
Wait,
end,
there was
Sarge,
Where, where,
I
where,
um,
was
where,
never offered one.
where's my beer?
next episode, I'll have Not Your Father's root beer. Shameless plug for Not Your Father's root beer. So if there's anything that we've missed that we want to cover, And
Take a step
if
back,
not,
please.
we'll wrap this up. I just want to give
I
not
have Mikey has says inequality is how you get the tight knit community, and to Nacho he says I still feel that way about DDO Nacho, and Punk says he he didn't get any beer.
there's always PAX meetup.
Exactly. I am totally pushing the next year's PAX. I don't even know if SSG is going to be doing something, but even if all of us DDO players get together for a DDO meetup, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, even if they don't do an official one, we should do the unofficial meetup. Absolutely.
Yeah, PAX West. If only SSG would go. I doubt that they would. I think the only reason they do PAX East is because it's right there by
So
them.
wrapping this up, Nacho, I just want to segue everything back to you. So in case anybody doesn't know, Nacho is the host of DDOcast. Please go check her out. There's DDOcast on Twitch, and there's also episodes on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I think all the episodes are on YouTube. I know this last week I did not live stream it. I was interviewing Tough RPG and he live streamed, but that episode was only put on YouTube.
Okay. So please go check out DDOcast on YouTube and also DDOcast on Twitch when she goes live. And I just want to ask you one final thing in closing, Nacho, about DDOcast.
Okay.
What's your experiences been like having met so many people from the DDO community, being the host of DDOcast? And what do you think that experience, how do you think that differs from other games?
Well, I really have nothing to compare it
Thank
to
you.
because I've never met, like, I haven't been that involved in another game community other than DDO. And even before DDO cast, before PAX, before even playing the game this time, I mean, I met my husband on DDO. We've met guildies in real life from DDO. But with DDO cast, I really enjoy it. I wasn't sure exactly how to take it when I first took it over. I mean, I took it, or I came on as a co-host, and then the original host decided to take a step back. She's since come back as kind of like a producer role, which is amazing. It makes me feel not so alone. Um, but I like it. I like being able to talk to other people and other content creators, other people that, just play the game. It's boxers or briefs? Briefs, definitely. No, boxers. Wait, which is the difference? I don't know. Y'all tell me
Free
the
ball.
difference.
Free ball.
Hey, I put my vote in.
Free ball.
It's in Sarge's chat. That's what I'm rocking
Oh,
right now.
War rocks the banana hammocks.
So
What was the question?
I don't know. I've forgotten now. I've memory wiped that. No, your experiences with DDOcast. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, DDO cast. Yeah, it gets me to talk to people. One of the first episodes we did in the beginning was talking to Matrium, which was amazing. I also found out that there's more than just Matrium's planner out there. But we had a really good conversation with him. I think that conversation could have went on for hours and hours. It gets me an in-depth look into people that I may just have like a passing acquaintance with, and actually be able to get to know them through DDOcast and through interviewing them for DDOcast.
Yeah, what's funny is my old guild leader was on DDOcast 28 of 09 for creating the crafting
Wow.
planner. Vinton Surf
Wow.
creating the crafting planner. It's wild to think that it's come full circle. But anyway, with that, we're going to probably wrap it up and close this out. So I want to thank Sarge USA for the awesome engagement and commentaries today. I really appreciate it. This has been such a good time, and a very huge shout out to Nachowench. It's been so fun talking to both of you, and I've had such an amazing time. I could talk for another 5 hours, but we'll save some for
Yeah,
another day.
I got company I need to get to.
Yes, you do.
So
Nice to meet your friend. So thank you, both of you, for your time.
thank you so much for having me. It was super fun.
Thank you, thank you, Nacho, for coming on. We greatly appreciate it. We also thank everybody in chat and War brother. Thank you. Thank you. We'll
Yeah,
talk,
man. And
thank you.
anytime. And yes, everybody in chat, thank you so much for coming out and engaging and sharing some of your afternoon with us. Trust me, we really appreciate it. All the engagement. That's what we're here for. It's a good time. So next episode will be episode 3. Our guest will be B-Jack Streams. He's been busy with IRL stuff, but hopefully we can catch him on to get his he's been a longtime player, a player perspective of DDO and some other games. I know he plays Dungeons and Dragons, Elder Scrolls Online, and World of Warcraft. And recently myself and Sarge have been kind of dipping into World of Warcraft a little bit. So I'd like to get him on and get kind of his thoughts and perspective on some of these other titles as well. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your day and afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And we will catch you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, smash the notification button. Sarge USA and Nachowench on YouTube and Twitch. So please,
I'm not
everybody,
on
check them out.
YouTube.
Shh, your DDO cast is on YouTube. You count. So everybody, please go check them out and give them a like and a follow. And we'll catch you guys all very, very soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a great afternoon.